The Calgary Flames have a golden opportunity to grab exactly what they need at the NHL Entry Draft later this week. Many questions surrounding who the Flames will take and if they'll make any trades are front and center, but if history shows Conroy, he has a plan. We're going to get into all that and more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. And yes, the NHL Draft is later this week, which we are all excited about. I believe it kicks off on Friday. Super exciting. I honestly can't wait to see who the Flames take in Craig Conroy's tenure. I mean, come on. Look at last year's draft. That was honestly maybe the most exciting thing that happened in all of last year. And hopefully, fingers crossed, the same kind of things will happen this year. Now, obviously, this year there's no top 10 pick, at least yet, unless, of course, the Flames decide to trade up, which lots of people also have their fingers crossed for. But either way, we have a great article to look at here. It does come from Wes Gilbertson from the Calgary Herald. So he writes a little Calgary Flames Draft Week primer, picks, history, and potential targets, and more. So what picks do the Calgary Flames hold for the draft, and what can we learn from Craig Conroy's history of draft week dealings? Because not only has Craig Conroy made some great picks at the draft, and obviously there's credit due to the scouting team, to Button himself, and, the others involved in the process, but Craig Conroy has cooked. Let's just put it that way. So let's get into the first thing here. So what will be the biggest Flames storyline in the lead up to the draft? And this is an easy one. What will happen for the rest of the week? I'm sure there'll be lots of trade rumors going around, but there are always some major trades during draft week, and Flames defense workhorse Rasmus Andersson is among the big names who could potentially be on the move. Andersson, 28, is about to enter the final year of his contract in Calgary. The two sides have had preliminary conversations about the possibility of an extension, but the insiders seem convinced a trade is the most likely outcome. The fan base, I wouldn't say seems convinced, but they seem that that's the way to go. Insiders they definitely seem convinced that a trade is coming, although that's part of their job. That's how they make money, of course. So we will obviously just have to wait and see. Now, here are the picks that the Flames do actually hold. So in the first round, we have the 18th, which is New Jersey's pick, and the 32nd pick, which is obviously originally Florida's. Our pick has gone over to Montreal. But again, all of this could kind of change, and a lot of people are hoping what happens in the first round does change. Now, in the second round, we do have the 54th overall pick, which history has shown obviously isn't the most exciting pick of all time, not the most successful, but there have been some dubs in that kind of mid-50s range. Third round, we have the 80th overall pick. So 4 picks in the top 80, pretty dang good. Fourth round, no picks, but then we have the 144th, 176th, and 208th overall selections, which again, sometimes you can get those late round steals. Where do we take Dustin Wolf again? I know he's a goalie, but still, let Conroy cook, of course. So that's kind of what the Flames are rolling with as we head into the NHL Draft. Now, who could be on Calgary's radar in the opening round? And look, we've done videos on the draft, honestly, over the past couple months now, there have been draft videos, and there are a bunch of names that have been thrown around. The one thing I want from you guys to definitely comment in this video is who you want the Flames to take with both first round picks. And if you want to throw in a little trade proposal where we move up, please, that's always more than welcome as well. But let's see what Gilbertson says here. He says, looking long term, the Flames' biggest need is at the center position. We say it in every single video. Next on the wish list would be right shot wingers and lefty defensemen. The top of this particular draft class is heavy on pivot prospects, so it feels like a strong chance that Conroy and company will cash one or even both of their opening round picks on future face-off men, which is exactly what we want. Fingers and toes crossed for that. Among the potential targets, at number 18, are Seattle Thunderbirds captain Braden Coots. That's the man in the thumbnail. We've spoken about him before. Seems like a perfect player for what we need. U.S. National Team Development leading scorer Cole McKinney and Cole Reshny, who put up 25 points in 11 playoff games with the Victoria Royals and had committed to the University of North Dakota. Another name to watch is Ben Kindle, who already is a fan fave at the Dome after filling the net for the Hitmen. While not everyone is convinced that Kindle projects as a pivot in the NHL, he can always slide over the right wing, which we say about honestly all of our forwards, it seems, these days. Oh, are they a bona fide center? I'm not too sure. Let's put them on the wing. we're racking up too many wingers at this point. But yes, there are a lot of centers available. There's other names that people have thrown around. Will players slide? Will, a Roger McQueen slide kind of thing because of those injury talks? Who knows? Now, if we look at pick 32, pick number 32. The list of centers who might appeal at number 32 includes Milton Gastrin, William Horkoff, or Ivan Ryabkin, who has oodles of skill but is considered by many to be a high-risk pick. And I actually think we've spoken about all three of these players before. But again, if you ever want to go check out their hockey DBs or their hockey reference or whatever you like to use, it's always worth taking a look. But there's a lot of centers that are projected to go in the first round. Obviously, it's probably the most coveted position, of course. So who knows? Honestly, the Flames could take multiple of these guys, or again, they might trade up. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, if we get into the history of, kind of the draft here, not all-time Calgary Flames, of course, but talking about Craig Conroy's history during his tenure as Flames GM. So what can we learn from Craig Conroy's history at the draft? Well, last year they went this route, which was best player available is the most overused line in pre-draft interviews, but an analysis of Conroy's previous picks will prove that he won't reach for a specific position. That is clearly evident because the Flames did not grab a center in last year's draft, or at least not high up in any of the opening rounds. After being promoted in the spring of 2023, he selected left winger Sam Honzek with his first haul as Calgary's general manager. Honzek has so far appeared in 5 NHL games. So not a center, but he went for who he thought was the best player available in Sammy Honzek. Now, if we go to last year, the Flames had a pair of first rounders a year ago, and the early returns are oh so encouraging. Boy, are they ever. They selected Zane Parekh at 9th overall, and he just put up the highest single season point total by an OHL defenseman in more than 3 decades. Right winger Matt Vegradine, their choice at number 28, was named the QMJHL's Rookie of the Year after averaging 1.41 points per game. Yeah, quite promising, but again, neither of them are centers, so Craig, he likes to go the best player available route. Conroy also has a history of draft week trades, very notable here. In each of the past 2 summers, he has swapped out a veteran who was 1 year away from unrestricted free agency, Tyler Toffoli, obviously to the Devils back in 2023, and Andrew Mangiapane in 2024 to the Washington Capitals. So Craig is familiar with making these draft week trades. Will we see a Rasmus Andersson one later this week? I think that's the biggest question heading up to the draft, more so than who are the Flames going to take. Last year, it was, are the Flames going to get TJ Ginla? We made 5 million videos about Ginla on this channel, and then obviously Utah took him, but we got Parekh, which was honestly quite a bit better. But either way, the big question is, will Andersson be traded heading to the draft? I'm sure there will be more draft coverage as we head into the end of the week. Now let's get into the comment of the day to wrap up this video here on the channel. Man, I ate some spicy food before I recorded, a little bit too spicy, and it's making me kind of like hiccup. My voice is a little bit different this video, but either way, Guitar Memoir here. He says Razzie is the new Markstrom, and that's so true. The Jacob Markstrom trade rumor saga seemed to go on for an eternity. And honestly, maybe it's just because we're living through it now. Rasmus Andersson trade rumor saga has almost seemed worse in a way. It seemed longer, and it is pretty crazy. He also says if Connie can't get a center or at least some decent young scoring depth for Raz, I think I would rather see him dealt for picks at the deadline. I completely agree. Either trade up in the draft or get a young good center or a young good scorer. Couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to what you saw here today and have a wonderful rest of your day.